the 2020 BMW X3 M Competition. Some fresh air. Woo! Coasting and popping. Bop, 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 bop. Let's see if this really passes our lab test. Real quick before we start this, I just want to say I hope this video finds you well. Let's choose love and light amidst all the darkness, all right? So let's stay positive and let's focus our attention on this beautiful interior. It is like a fine piece of art in here. Actually, I kind of feel like I'm at an art exhibit between the leathers and the textures and the trim. Woo! Super beautiful. And I just realized I matched the seats and that was totally not planned. You may think it was, but I'm telling you, it wasn't. I think it's gonna match, Andie. Now look at this headliner. Usually it's that baby soft Alcantara, ooh, smooth like a baby's bottom. In here though, it is more like a sports material. Actually, I have an athletic t-shirt that looks just like it. Look at this, kind of fitting if you think about it. I like it. Now when it comes to these seats, they are super adjustable. But to be real with you, that headrest, it had me going a little nutty. When I got in here for the first time, that thing was jacked up so high. Who was in here before me? A giant? I don't know. I was pressing every knob, looking for a little button on the side. User error right here, because the buttons here on the side are multi-function. I was just pushing it back and forth to move it around. Little did I know if you push it up and down, that's how you get that sucker where you want it. And personally, I think this seat is one of the most attractive looking seats. I mean, when you walk into this thing, those seats make a statement. They look fine. You do a double take. They're comfortable too, and the seats back there, we're coming back to you, Andie. And these seats move too, right, Andie girl? Yeah. Legroom is great on the sides, but the middle, you see that hump, my feet do not fit. Climate control, we will get to that in a bit, but Andie, can you see that screen up there? Now, the car is not on right now because it is so loud. It would be like, I don't want all that background noise. But in the meantime, touch screen, scroll knob, works great, looks beautiful, colors are phenomenal. But don't get too excited. Apple CarPlay. I got a love-hate relationship with you. First of all, to set it up, you gotta go to so many different settings. My vehicle, iDrive, mobile devices, connect new phone, Apple CarPlay, let's go. Then you gotta pair your phone, pops up, great. But when you leave the car and come back, I feel like I'm always fiddling with it to pop up. I also found that the music can cut in and out when you're driving around intermittently. Don't know why. I tried my husband's phone too, who has a brand new phone that's not all cracked and jacked up like mine. It still happens. And for reference, not all wireless CarPlay is like this. In the Audi, it was fast and consistent all the time. It's also a little small in here. It's condensed. It's not the full screen. And that's why it's a love-hate relationship. There is a lot of good in here, but a few things that I need all the time, I just wish it worked a little bit better. But you are beautiful. Yes, you are. And since this is the M Competition model, you get a lot of M's and M's and M's in here. A lot of M&Ms. Much better when you suck on your M's. I know that sounds terrible, but yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, blue 2. Healthy. And BMW, they must love trees, or someone just stole the owner's manual, because no paper manual in here. Oops, never mind. There it is. But also, you get it? Up here, that's right, a digital manual. So any questions you might have on the go, it is right here at your fingertips. Apple CarPlay. You don't work all the time. I'm constantly having to search for my phone. Automatic climate settings. Climate control settings are delightful because they're here and not up here. I love hard knobs. Of course, you got it all heated wheel, ventilated, blah, 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 blah. And while this is handy, I did run into a little bit of an issue when it comes to cooling Andie back there. So I took Andie on a walk. It wasn't actually that hot outside, but this one got real hot because, let's be honest, it's like she walks around with a down comforter all the time. I wanted this to become like an ice box, and it just didn't. And I realized maybe it's because it's not that hot outside. Today, it's a lot hotter, and I gotta say, the airflow, it's pumping. But I love the fact that you can adjust the temperature, the position of airflow. That's right. But how does it really feel in that rear? No clamshell rear design back here, and although they're cute and definitely come in hand, I think it's easier to load a fur kid with a traditional rear. Yes, she agrees. Now with that said, look at this hump right here. Andie's got to jump over this thing. It's an extra 3 inches high. Now yes, there's a spare tire under here, but I would prefer the floor to be flush with this platform. What do you think? Would you like that? Ow! Would you like that too? Yeah, she would like that too. And when you think of tall, maybe less spacious, but there's a nice amount of space for this CUV. Plus, plop those seats down. Woo! And now look at that space. And yes, Andie's managed to get herself comfortable back there, but she also does not really care for the sound of the engine. So we're gonna leave her at home for some of this. Because this has a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine with M twin-power turbo technology. BMW says this bi-turbo engine is powerful. I call it a beast. 503 horsepower. This thing is insane. Settings in here. It's not just push a little mode button and you're in sport. Oh no. Engine, suspension, steering. You can customize it however you want. And you know what else? You can make 2 driving profiles. Look at this, M1 and M2. Kind of like a seat memory, except this is front and center. So M1 is my Andie mode. The engine might be efficient, but my wheel is set to a sport setting, which gives it a tighter feel, and I love a tight wheel. Oh yes. And M2, well, that's like guns a-blazing. Launch control, actually, I'm too scared to do launch control. Unless I'm on a track, I'll do it, but not on public streets, especially when deer and Bambi are crossing over. BMW, I hit Bambi. Plus, this switch right here gives you access to 3 Drive Logic programs. What is that? Okay, well, the more lines you got, the more sporty it is. So if you're going to the track, you want it to be on 3. If you're doing efficient like Andie mode, you want it to be on 1. I got Andie back in the car with me. And these brakes are good, people. They also look good too, along with those M Sport wheels. Now there is a little bit of a trade-off. Good brakes sometimes speak to you. Not all the time, but that's how you know they're really good. And you know what else speaks, right? M Sport exhaust system. Quad tips, baby. Quad tips. You know the handling is great when the steering wheel feels so connected to the road, which gives me a lot of confidence. And speaking of handling, look up there at the position of the strut bar. Oh yeah, look at that bar. You looking good, bar. BMW did not compromise one bit. They put it right across the center. I have learned a lot in this car. Wow, BMW, that is actually the airbox for the intake. Not cosmetic. The safety tech in here, it's got everything. You can amp it up to make it really engaged or reduce it to make it a little bit more mild. Blind spot monitor on those gorgeous side view mirrors, which by the way, you can push a button, whoop, and those things go flush against the car. Oh yeah. The different camera perspectives, the movable camera perspective. This is one area that BMW really shines in my opinion. And if you watch our X7 video, I demonstrated how the self-park feature works along with the backing up feature. That thing worked to perfection. Right, Andy? At nighttime, ambient lighting, lots of colors to pick from. Plus the LED light carpet. That is certainly nice when you're walking up to this bad boy at nighttime in a dark parking lot. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention, storage. You got your bread box up here with your wireless charger, nice sized door bins, the consoles, they're all right. Now this mirror in the sun visor, that's all another story. Why is it so small? So Andie's managed to get comfortable and efficient mode is definitely quieter, but I know it's not quiet enough for Andie. If there was a way to mute the engine noise a little bit more, I think that would totally improve Andie's riding experience. So some of you might say, well then just get the next model down, the M40. And while I haven't yet driven the X3 M40i, we did lab test the X4 M40i. You could check it out, the link is below. Right, Andie girl? The M40, it is sporty, don't get me wrong, but this, in my opinion, is entirely different. This M Competition is like a sports car, and this package is really good. All I'm saying is I just want a little bit more options. For Andie, of course, because the options for me are great. Big thanks to BMW for letting us lab test this beast. High five if this thing is a beast. And although Andie might prefer a quieter ride, there are still a lot of dog-friendly features about this X3M. Yes, the 40-20-40 split. Lots of natural light, rear climate settings, easy entrance, and spacious rear. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the bell so you know when our next video goes live, and follow Andie on Instagram to see pics of this BMW all week. And we'll see you next time.